Hey everyone, Sophia here from magreatchallenge.blogspot.com. I am back in my office. Today I am building the rest of the bookcases, the ones that are suspended above what's going to be the counter or the desk. Please excuse the appearance, I am under construction. So quick recap, my husband's desk and his computer are still connected. I had to move them to the other side of the room. This is the bookcase I built the last time. If you remember, if you did not see it, all the links are down below. And what I'm going to do today is a bookcase that goes from the ceiling all the way down to just about here. So it's going to be flushed with where the window splits into the two panels. So it's going to go from here, from the wall, all the way up to the window. So I'm going to start with putting the right panel against the wall. So everything is measured. I'm using those two little things here because they are exactly the width of one of those boards. Again, I'm using the 2 by 12 by 12 in pine that you can get at your local Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever lumberyard you have in your area. And the reason why I'm putting them here on the top, because when I'm ready to put this against the ceiling over there, I need them to give me a space that's big enough for the header. And the header is just going to be another board that goes from here to here. So all I'm going to do right now is take this board, put it against the wall, move it all the way up. The spacers are going to stop at exactly where the ceiling is. And then I'm going to do one screw, just one, because what I want right now is for this to stay there temporarily, so I can put the one on the left and then measure everything. So I want to make sure that I got everything right. If I put all my screws in now and this is not right, then I got to take them out. So I'm just going to put one in. And what you want to do is that this is the angle, right, of the corner of your room. There's a stud right here, and there's a stud right here. So I'm going to screw this flat panel right there into the stud that's here. I don't want to go into the corner because there's no stud there. There's a gap between the two studs. I want to go at a 45-degree angle right here to catch that stud. And my board is about 42 inches tall. So I'm not going to do it at the bottom. I'm going to do it somewhere around the middle right here. Alright, so I already put a screw all the way on top and that was tough. So now I'm going to show you how to drill this at an angle. And the best way to do that is, first of all, you got to be gentle and you got to keep moving your drill bit back and forth. Alright? Screw in directly into the stud. Alright, I'll probably put two more afterwards, but right now I just want to move on and do the one on the left side. I'm trying to film while I'm doing this. This is not very easy. What I've done so far is that I have both sides and then I have the header on top. There was a little bit of a mistake. The header was shorter than I should have cut it. So I had to come up with some solution. I'm going to show you that in a second. But right now what I'm doing is that I'm just toe-nailing the side right here that's by the window onto the header on the top. So I just drilled at a 45-degree angle to catch this board here and the one on top. I got my screw in already, so I'm just going to go in and insert my screw. Okay, alright, so let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is the left one, the one that you just saw me toe-nail to the side. Here's my header on the top, and here's the first one that I did. So here's the mistake right there. That header is too short. So what I ended up doing was take a piece of ferrite strip right here, and I just screwed in inside the board that's against the wall, right here, the upright. And then I put my, I'm going to try to get even closer, put my header to be supported by it right here. And then I have a screw that goes inside this way and another one inside that way. So that header is pretty much secured with that piece of fairing strip here. And because I just toe-nailed it over there, it works as well. There's not going to be any weight on it, so it's just really, the purpose of having this here is that I can use it as a nailer for the molding that's going to go around it. There's not going to be any weight, it doesn't move, it doesn't really matter. The support needs to be coming from the sides, here, and then from the board I'm going to put at the bottom. Alright, so here's one thing that I've learned. When you screw on one side, you don't want to do all the screws on that side at the same time, or one after the other. Because what happens is that as you push one way, your board moves a certain way. So you have to get your screw to the other side to push the board the other way. You get what I'm talking about? So that way you get one force this way, one force that way, one force this way, one force that way, and you give strength to your board without bending it, without trying to force it into one position. Because if I was doing all my screws on this side, I probably would end up getting my board to not be plumb anymore. It would probably get to move a little bit this way. So since I just did the one that's at the bottom, I'm going to do the one that's right here. I already drilled my hole, so this is going to be toe-nailed at a 45-degree angle, and it's going to catch this board and the one that's on the top. And when you do that, you want to make sure you grab the one that's on the top, because as the screw starts to drill into it, that particular board is going to start moving. So you want to push it in, and then as the screw is almost through the entire hole, what happens is that this one starts to get closer to the one you have at the bottom. I'm hoping I'm making sense. That's how you build strength. And again, there's a nailer here, so it doesn't really matter if you can see the screw on the outside. Alright, next I'm doing the same thing that I did in the other bookshelf. I'm putting on stays. This one is the first stay for my bottom shelf, and it's going to be flushed, you see that, to this part right here. So what it's going to do once I have my shelf on top right here is that it's going to give me a recess right there, because remember I got a facing in the front, right? So that I can put lights. You following me? So all I have to do is the same thing, flush it on the wall. I got to make sure it's nicely flushed here at the bottom. Drill my holes and put in my screws. So what I'm doing here is that I'm putting a short screw here in the front that's going to go through this stay, which is a piece of fairing strip, and the board right here. But the one in the back, I'm going to do it at an angle. It's going to be toe-nailed into the stud that's by the window. You following me? That way I get even more support. Alright, it's getting late in the afternoon and the light is kind of sucky right now. I have the bottom shelf installed. Like I said, this is on a stay, just like the other shelves, and I'm going fast for this video because most of what I'm doing I've already shown you in the other one, so I just want to kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing. So this is a regular 1.5 inch screw, this is a 4-inch screw that's going toe-nailed in there, and these over here are 4-inch screws that are going straight into the wall, which is lath, and I know there's no stud, but at least it's giving more support. Now the more you put the screws, you see the gap here? That's because the more you put the screws in, the more the screws are bringing this board against the wall. So in order for the next shelves not to do that, I had to put some shim here and here. And I've already measured where I'm gonna have my shelves. So there's a bunch of scribbles. I mean, there's a bunch of scribbles here, but I know what I'm doing. So I have a shelf here, and then the stay's got to go there. So this one is going to be 11 inches tall. the next one is 12 inch, and then another one that's 12 inch. So altogether, this bookcase, I guess, that's suspended is going to be one shelf here, another one here, and another one there. So altogether that's 1, 2, and 3 shelves. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and install all of my stays on this side, and then on this side, if you want to know how to do this, and this is the first time you're watching this video, just go to my other video in the bookcase 1, 2, and 3, where I explain how I'm doing all of these, because it's kind of redundant. So the step process is already explained in another video. So when I come back, I'll have all of those installed. All right. So here we go. This is done. I have my 3 shelves in. This is all leveled. I'm going to pull back a little bit so you can see what it looks like when you come in. Yeah, this is really solid. I'm going to insert right now a picture of my kids literally sitting on the bottom one, so you can see that this is not bulging. And all it took really was putting the screws at a 45-degree angle into the studs that are on the wall and right here in the window frame. So it really works. The only thing I have to do now is tomorrow when I come back, I'll do the same facing that I have here, and I'll do the same facing I have here and here in the front. I'll do the same thing there. The difference is that the one that's going to be here, because this is recessed, remember, is going to go all the way up to here, maybe a little bit under, but that's going to give me a good 3 or 4 inches to work with to install lights. So I'm probably going to add one of those lights that's a strip, not the individual one, because that's easier to do anyway. And then tomorrow, after I'm done with that, I'll do the one that goes over here. So I'll probably spend more time filming this one because it's a smaller project. So you get to see how I'm doing it, even though I think I was pretty good at explaining this one. And I will be done with the bookcases. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. It's Wednesday. I'm going to finish this whole wall today. Quick update. This is where I left you off about 30 seconds ago. Finish this. Today I'm going to build the one that goes over there. So I'm probably going to take you again in the garage so you can see the cuts and all of that. All I need really is 3 cuts for now. I need the one, the upright that goes here, the upright that goes there, and then the header. And then again, the bottom part is actually the first shelf, and I'm doing the exact same process here with a recess so I can put a light, because this area right here is where my desk is going to be. And then if you can visualize that right here, there's going to be a cabinet. And then this whole area here, which is much longer than mine, is going to be my husband's because he's got more than 1 monitor. So the whole counter is going to go from here to here. It's going to be flush to the window. What I need really is, I'm doing it for, I think I'm going to do, Scott wants a desk that's 29.5 inch deep. I think it's just going to take too much real estate space on the floor. So I'm probably going to do 3 boards that are 8 inch. So that's going to be 24, and he's going to lose about 5 inch. And that really is not a problem if you think about it, because he's gaining so much space sideways that the depth is not going to be affecting him too much. But I'm not there yet, all right? So I'm going to take you in the garage, I'm going to show you the cuts and then sanding and all of that, even though you've seen that in the first video. And once I have this one built, then I'll cut the facing, the 4-inch board here, and the 3-inch board that goes there, and the 4-inch one here, the ones that returns here to the side and to the side, install those, and we'll call it a day, and I will be done with this project. The next time I'll see you after that will be to build the countertop. All right, let's go to my garage. Okay, I'm back and I'm covered in sawdust because I did a lot of sanding. What am I doing now? I'm going to install the upright that goes against the wall here, and it's only sanded on this side right here because that's the part that's going to be painted. This part right here is all messed up. You can see there's like this big dent again from the lumber yard. But that's going against the wall, so I don't care about that. And I don't really need to sand the edges or bevel because there's going to be a facing right here. Now the shelves, just like I did with this one right here, that's going to have to be sanded on both sides and beveled and sanded on the front. Alright? So what am I doing? I'm bringing this same way that I did yesterday. I have those 2 pieces of fairing strip that I'm using as a temporary header, I guess, to give me the right measurement. I'm going to flush that to the ceiling over there, and I'm going to put my first screw directly into the stud that's right here in this corner. Not this one, not in the middle, this one. So that's going to hold it. Once I have that, I'll put the one right here that's going to go into the stud that's against the window. Then I'll measure, I'll put the header, make sure everything is fine. I'll kind of, stabilize them a little bit, and then I'll put the one at the bottom. Okay, so check this out. I have my 2 upright. But again, I encountered a problem. So in another episode of Mama Needs a Third Hand, this is the issue, if you're wondering what's going on here. Alright, this board right here, this one, is a little bit bent. So as a result, when I have my header all the way on top here, this board goes a little bit this way. And I want it to be plumb. Alright, so what I'm doing is that I'm going to put a screw right here that's going to go, a 4-inch screw that's going to go through this board into this one so that these get to be square and flushed. Alright, but the only way I can do that is by pushing this, and seriously pushing it towards the window that way. Now I only have 2 hands. I need 1 extra pair of hands basically to push this for me. So what I did is that I took 2 pieces of fairing strip right here, and you should never use your tools, but I'm using my tools. I have my big level right here, that's a metal level that's pretty much put at a tension right here from this board to this board, pushing these, and it's basically pushing the whole thing, right? But in order for this not to move, because it has a tendency to slide, I had to put a finishing nail right here, and I had to put a finishing nail right there. So I have to be very gentle when I'm going to drill through this, because what's going to happen is I'm going to have vibration, and this actually may fall, and I don't want to break my level. So this is where I'm at. Alright, so here we go. I want to go at a 45-degree angle. I'm hoping you can see that, where I'm just basically going like this. Alright, and again, I want to start straight so I can give my bit something to grip on. And as I'm doing this, I'm moving my bit at an angle. Alright, there we go. No, don't got it. When you're putting a screw that long, or any screw for that matter, when you start getting the screw inside your wood, you don't want to push the screw. Just let it drive itself into the wood. Once you have a good 2/8 of an inch and you know it's inside the wood, then you can start pushing. But don't push at the beginning. It took about 2 hours to sand all of these and cut the fairing strips. Now, when you're sanding, I'm gonna do paint, but if you were doing stain, you would want to go after your fine grit. You get a heavy grit first, then you do a fine grit. You want to do a steel wool after that, if you were to stain it. Like for instance, if you were to stain it with mint wax or whatever, the same color than the floor right now, or you know, mahogany, whatever. But I'm just doing 2 grits, the rough one and then the fine one, and beveled all the edges. So I have my 3 shelves, and then I have my fairing strips. Now there's 2 of them that are longer, and these are the ones that are on the top. The 11 inches, I gotta find them, these right here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I did on the other side to explain. So you see there, these are kind of short, right? And they go directly into the wall, 90-degree angle or perpendicular. And then the one on top right here is the same thing. They go directly into the wall, but they are longer. And then you see I have screws underneath. Those are going perpendicular into the board on the top. So that gives me an additional support. So again, like I said to you yesterday, you don't want to do things where you install this and then this and that. You want to kind of do opposites, one after the other, you alternate. So I'm going to start by doing this one right here, right? And then I'm going to do the one at the bottom right here. Before I do that, I need to do the same thing I did yesterday, which was to put some shims against the wall, because as I'm doing the one on the top, it's going to bring this one this way, and as I'm putting this one over there, it's going to do the same thing. So I want to keep my board nice and flush. I'm hoping I'm making sense. So let me put the camera on the tripod. I'm going to start with the one on the top and then move on here. I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll probably do all of them and get back after I've installed all my shelves. All right? See you in a second. That goes this way, straight into the top board, the header. Alright, so I gotta change again my bit, and I'm just gonna stay flush like this and just get it in. I don't want to split it, so I gotta be very careful. This one I'm going to drill through like that. I don't know if I'm making sense. When I drill my stay here at the bottom, it's going to drill through that, because my wall is not straight. Now if I go like this, I'm plumb. Yep, I'm plumb. So remember, I pre-drilled my hole, right? So that way I don't have to go through several layers. That's going flush to the wall, and I want it perfectly flush to the bottom right here. Alright, I'm going to put that, where am I going to put it? Let me put it in my pocket for now, because I'll put it at the last minute when I'm ready to put the screw in. Okay, I want to make sure this is nice and flush, and just for good measure, let's do that. Before I do that, let me just make sure. Wow, perfect. Huh. I'm doing pretty good, I dare say. Alright. So again, this needs to be perfectly flush right here. And I'm going perpendicular and straight into the wall. You heard that noise? That's me having the screw go through this. So it's time to put my shim, because that's going to catch the shim in the back as well. I gotta hold everything perfectly still. See, the other one fell. That's because when you push one side, it moves the other. Pull this out. And this one right here goes at an angle into the stud. Let's do a final check. I'm plumb. I'm leveled. My plumb in the back. Yep. My plumb in the front. Yep. How about here? Perfect. How about here? Wow. Excellent. Alright, so you got the idea, right? I'm going to try to put one right here in the middle, the one that fell. I have to find one that's a little bit bigger, I guess, because I really don't want to split this board. That's going to give me the support when I do the other ones. But basically the other ones is the same way. I just got to calculate where I'm putting my shelves. Now I have, this is 39. I've got to count, I think I did 11. Yeah, I think I did 11, 11 and 12. From here to here it's 12 and then the other ones are 11, which makes sense. What's the matter, Edward? Hey, I'm filming, baby.
Can you check my grades?
Now?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, let me finish what I'm doing. Do you want the same thing?
Oh my god.
Do you want the same thing in your bedroom? To put all your Legos and your books?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah?
I would recommend it.
Are you gonna help? I guess not. Are you gonna help?
You're kind of...
Yes, Mom. I will be delighted.
Never. I will never.
Get out of here.
Alright. Bye, camera.
Alright, goodbye. Get out of here. Oh, I'm getting tired. Thank God I made dinner already. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, 12 and then 11, 11. And so you get the idea now, right? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put... I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to put those this way, right? They're going to be above, obviously. And this one goes straight into the wall. This one goes at an angle to catch the stud. Alright? So let me do that, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. The only difference on the other side is I don't have a wall to screw in. So I'm using shorter screws. I'm using very long screws, 4 inches in the back, right? Imagine this is the window right here. That one is going to have 4 inches going into the corner, but the one that's on the edges here has got to be short. So I'm using just an inch and a half worth of screw, okay? Alright, let me finish this without interruptions, and then I'll show you what it looks like once I have all the shelves in, and then we'll cut the facing for the bottom and for the sides. All right, I'll see you in a second. I'm back. Took about 2 hours. Just want to show you what it looks like. Here we go. See, I'm perfectly leveled with these. So it's the same way that I did the other one. I just went through that and I don't have to go over it again. What I need to do now, and I shouldn't take too long because it's pretty much straight cuts. I'm going to apply the first piece of, you know, molding, or yeah, we're going to call it molding right here. And then once I have it up to here, flush with this, I can measure from here to the wall over there, so I know where my cut is. I'll apply it, I'll do the same thing on top, and then I'll move over here and over there, and then do the facing here. And then once I have that, I'll have to do the facing that goes upward on 1, 2, 3, and 4 boards. So let me pull out again so you can see what it looks like. When you come in, you get those 2 big bookcases, or bookshelves rather, and they are sturdy. They're not going anywhere, and then, you know, computer desk is still in there. But then you have this one right here. I can't wait to be over with this project, to be honest. I'm not looking forward to the painting at all. It seemed that it's going to be the longest thing to do because I have to prime first. Because, you know, it's pine and you have all of those things right here. Over time, they end up making yellow stains. So I have to prime and then I have to paint, and it's going to take forever. But I'll do probably the counter first. Then I'll paint, and then I'll do the floor and finish the counter. All right, let me install those. I've already shown you in the other video, I think it was bookcase number 3, how to do it, so I'm not going to go over it again. And yeah, so when I come back, it will be done, hopefully. All right, so it's about 8:15. My husband just came back home. Dinner's on the table, so we're ready to eat, and I'm not finished. I'll finish that tomorrow. Let me give you an update. This is where I'm at so far. I've done the top, the bottom, the sides, and the uprights. The only thing is that these nails are only in that position right now because I didn't drive them all the way through. You don't want to do that right away. You want to kind of like play with your measurements and everything. So that's what it looks like. And again, I didn't do it on the other side yet. I'll do that tomorrow. So the bottom shelf looks like this. It's got like this nice little Art Deco type cascade before you get to this part here, the molding. But the greatest part about it is that I really have a serious amount of space. You see that? To put a light. And I want to put one of those strips that, I don't know, they look like Christmas lights. I may even do Christmas lights, I don't know. So that would be cool. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. And the other one this way. All right, so I'm gonna see you again. Well, I guess this video is taking 3 days. I'll see you again tomorrow when I come back, and I'll finish the one on this side. And then all I have to do after that is basically the same way that I did the other one. That's you know, the big bookcase. I have to sand all of those corners here. You know, when there's like a little bit of a ledge here, just sand that nice, round them, make them really, really pretty. I may sand this a little bit, make it a little bit rounder. For some reason, I think it's a little bit too sharp. So yeah, that's one thing I'll have to do. But otherwise, looks pretty good to me. All right, I see you tomorrow, which for you is going to be in about, I don't know, 2 seconds. Bye. So welcome back. It's Thursday. What I'm going to do now is just pretty much drive all of those nails that I had left yesterday hanging a little bit. I'm going to drive them home. I'm going to sand a little bit on the corners like I said I would with my hand sander. But right now I just want to get my nails all the way in, and see there's a little space here, so if I drive my nail all the way in, that space is going to get reduced. Alright, so I'm just going to keep going and finish this, and then I'll go ahead and sand to show you what I'm talking about sanding the corners and the edges. So now that I have countersunk all my nails, I'm just going to go ahead and sand my corners, sand a little bit here where I have a little bit of nicks from the hammer. And I want to make sure I get all of this nicely smoothed out around my corners and whatnot. Let's go. Give you a close-up. So I had 2 big gaps right here from pretty much the same thing that I had here, all right, from the hammer, and I have another one here. I didn't do that one yet. So got rid of that, and then I rounded my corner here and rounded my corner over here. I could probably go a little bit more here as well because I really want to have something that's nice and flush. So I'm just going to continue to do this, and then I'll show you the final results and bid you good night. And I guess that would be it. Done. It's done. Here we go. Whew. That was rough. Alright, so these corners are done. It's nice and plumb. It's super solid. I love it. Next time I see you, I will be, let me find a place where I can show you. Next time I see you, I'll be doing nails driven here at a 45-degree angle to make sure that these are anchored properly and are not moving, because if you remember, some of them are kind of like wobbly. And then I'll have to caulk, prime, and paint. So that's the next time around. Until then, thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you're new, and I will talk to you later. Bye.